Alright, we were doing some weather nerding, just for recreational purposes. And we saw some interesting stuff we figured we'd share. We're going to do some weather nerding, we're going to do some shout-outs to other YouTube channels, and we're going to do some indoor gardening stuff. First off, take a look at this Convergence Zone. Talk about some violent activity in the North Atlantic. Okay, so you see dry air coming like this and getting turned into wet air. Really what you're seeing there is a charge getting sucked right out of there. Now, those of you who understand the electric nature of the atmosphere, you will realize that all this wet air is highly negatively charged. Chunks of dry air like this tend to be positively charged. So as you can see, while the water vapor is all moving almost perfectly west to east, you see a whole bunch of streamers perpendicular to that path. Why is that? That's because electrical charge in the atmosphere. The fact that there's wind currents going north and south there is not causing the electrical charge. It's vice versa. Global electric circuit. Watch this dry air just vanish. And at the same time, this moist air increases in intensity. Anyway, so we were looking at that and we figured that's going to be one hell of a convergence zone. So we went to Windy to look at the swell, and yeah, that's nasty. Look at that area off of Cape Cod. Jeez. You wouldn't want to be a longshoreman out there, because 15-foot swells are not all in a day's work. Let's see what else is going on. Actually, let's look at the pressure, because the pressure is another factor involved here. Man, talk about a convergence line. Look at that. There's also an anomalous looking low right here. Check it out. Funky stuff going off of Cape Cod. And let's look at the NASA GOES shortwave map so you can see what's happening with the clouds. Now, while it is light there, it's not light for this full animation, so we use the shortwave image here to give you some idea what's going on in the cloud layer. Also, it is interesting that there's snow rotating down into Pennsylvania. Show you the Doppler radar in a minute on AccuWeather. And there's that convergence zone. Gives you another chance to see how the water vapor map shows you that which is not there. Here's your Northeast Regional Radar, your Doppler radar. And as you can see, the snow is actually moving south as the jet stream moves east. You got this rotational aspect going on here. Major force transfer there. Central Pennsylvania getting pretty heavy snow. Now, for those of you who haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe, as we're doing space weather videos every day and other random science stuff, especially in the physics arena, astrophysics, cosmology, the sun, etc. But we would like to go into our featured channels, as we have a new featured channel. Thanks for subscribing, David Devine from Adapt 2030. Our newest officially endorsed channel, Adapt 2030, hosted by David Devine, covering climate change, real climate change, in that the Earth is getting colder due to the 400-year solar cycle predicted by Zarkova and other radio astronomers. Tune in, watch his videos. You want to learn the real stuff about science, well, about meteorology. He's got daily updates, just like we do. Next, check out David Schlotauer, premier meteorologist, giving you in-depth forecasts wherever the action is located. Head to David Schlotauer's page, watch his videos, give him a like, give him a subscribe. His channel's growing, just like ours. Next, Suspicious Observers, pushing the boundaries of astronomy, cosmology, and indeed, the unified theory of physics and astrophysics. A major proponent of the electric universe and the idea that dark matter doesn't exist. Check out Ben Davidson at Suspicious Observers. Subscribe to the videos. Give him a like. Give him a comment. Watch him daily. He's studying the sun. And when we compare notes, while we don't do it officially, it's not a coincidence that we're coming out with the same information. Next, Oppenheimer Ranch Project, hosted by David Diamond Moriello. Talking about the grand solar minimum, paleogeologist, very into volcanoes, earthquakes, the sun. And while nobody on our featured channels agrees with us on everything, fantastic channel to watch. Head over there and subscribe. Do it now. And last but not least, Dr. Pierre-Marie Robitaille, known on YouTube as Sky Scholar, professor of radiology at Ohio State University. Dr. Robitaille is interested in actual observations to try to figure out what makes the universe tick. Watch all of his videos. There's going to be some heavy reading in there. It's going to inspire you to learn more about astronomy, cosmology, thermodynamics, and more. Head over and like all those pages. And now, for one last segment, one we've never done before, it's the indoor gardening segment. All right, and there's me, your host, Smash-O-Mash. We'll let that radar, that water vapor map, play in the background while we show you some stuff here. First of all, show you our goldfish tank. Yes, there's Jaws. There's Jim, the Pleco. And there's Phelps, named after most highly decorated Olympian of all time, Michael Phelps. 2 comic goldfish and 1 Pleco. Next door to them, we got an algae tank. You can see that. And we use that to water plants. Now, we've been growing some indoor plants. And I'm going to show you what's going on here. Heading outside. So, here's the bird feeder. And underneath the bird feeder, it's kind of an open pit compost system. We throw our vegetables there, and every once in a while, we rake them all together, get very fertile soil. Well, this November, just before the first frost hit, there were a bunch of real healthy looking tomato plants growing, so we dug some out, put them in the house. And we decided to perform a little experiment, see if we can grow tomatoes in the wintertime. And it turns out we can. There's one of our grow lights. 2 nice plants growing there. Head into the living room. 3 beefy plants growing in here with a series of lights. And I don't know if you can see that right there. There's a tomato growing indoors. These have only been indoors about 6 weeks. You can do it! Anyway, just thought we'd share. Thanks everybody for liking the videos. Please join us daily for our space weather updates. And remember, on your way growing indoor plants because of the grand solar minimum, don't drink. And if you drink, grow the freaking plants anyway, dudes.